All over the world, millions of species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. On land, in the water, and in the air. All are locked in deadly conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From the Arctic tundra to southern Europe, there are no rules. This is Animal Fight Night. Lions are the most sociable of the big cats. Prides can number up to 30, made up of related females, their cubs, and one or more males. This Kalahari pride in South Africa is lorded over by two. They're both colossal, 4 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing close to 500 pounds. When dominant males share the rule, it's known as a coalition. The added muscle means extra protection for the pride's territory and power over rival predators. But lion prides are constantly changing structure. Today, one male's instinct to carry on his own bloodline trumps teamwork. One of them overpowers his adversary and bites him hard on the muzzle. Lions have a bite force of 400 pounds, so it could shred a fleshy nose and mouth. The weaker lion pulls away before he's badly injured. A serious face wound would end in starvation. Animals up to 5 miles away hear the two kings fighting. Lions can roar at 114 decibels. That's louder than a jackhammer. The weaker lion gets back up, but is shaken, and his ruthless enemy knows it. The pride is his for the taking. And he terminates their coalition with a parting shot to the face. The victorious lion runs toward the females. The loser faces exile. His only hope to cement his own bloodline will be to find a pride where he comes out on top. In the never-ending battle for survival, animals must be ready to spot and seize an opportunity. Whether it's for power, territory, or food, fortune favors the bold. A lone spotted hyena gorges on a kill. A warthog is a feast, and she'll eat it all, flesh and bone. Hyenas are able to eat almost every scrap of a carcass. But before she can finish, she's interrupted by a leopard. These big cats are expert hunters. With hearing 5 times more sensitive than a human and vision up to 7 times sharper, leopards are perfectly adapted to ambush the most nervous prey. Pouncing from above or bursting from tall grass. Leopards can catch their own food. But when a tasty-looking dinner comes along, it's hard to resist. The hyena has done the hard work already. It won't be easy to steal, At 130 pounds and 2.5 feet tall at the shoulder, the hyena outclasses her in weight and height. Stealing the scraps may be safer. But the hyena has no intention of sharing. The leopard could inflict deadly damage to her. Despite the risk, she drives the thief into the bush. Round 1 to the hyena. And by nightfall, she has gorged herself on half the carcass. Hyenas are some of nature's most effective binge eaters. Ultra-powerful jaws close her scissor-like incisors, slicing through the toughest parts of the carcass, strong enough to crush thick bone. Inside her stomach, hydrochloric acid breaks down matter effectively. In one sitting, a hyena can consume up to 40 pounds of food, the equivalent of 10 average-sized roast chickens. By now, she's bloated with meat. Even a hyena can only eat so much. A shadow approaches. It's round 2. Hunger drives the leopard. And this time, it doesn't back down. The thief's patience pays off. The hyena is slow and weak. She has no more fight in her. There's plenty of meat left. It's sure to attract other thieves. So the leopard takes her prize to where few animals can follow. When a fight over food breaks out, raw muscle power is often the secret to success. But when it's a battle for territory, experience can win the kingdom. The Scottish Highlands are home to one of nature's most majestic beasts, red deer. On open ground, the two sexes live in separate groups for most of the year. But late September marks a change. It's the rut. Males duel for dominance. They force out their rivals and gather a harem of females, if they can. One male already claims this stretch of land and these females. He has 12 points on his antlers. A royal stag. At 7 years old, he's in his prime. The females are now in season, and males are coming in thick and fast to fight for them. The royal is ready to defend his claim. But as he charges around the battlefield, he's being watched. It's another royal, but he's older. Time is not on his side. This could well be his last rut. What he lacks in energy, he makes up in cunning. The river marks the boundary of the royal's land. The old stag waits and watches the royal burn up more energy. What happens next is UFC worthy. An old stag watches for his moment to challenge a dominant royal male. His younger enemy is tiring. The old male makes his move. It's risky. The royal is younger and stronger, and he's seen him. Fired up from his other challenges, the royal charges. He drives his antlers into the old stag's head and forces him backwards. For the old stag, it's now or never. He gives it everything he has. The royal slips. The old stag drives his deadly antlers into his rival's side, skewering him. The royal is beaten. He bleeds heavily and can no longer fight. The old stag claims the throne. Some animals use strategy to give them the best chances of victory. But when giants are in the mood for a fight, it's a case of the 3 A's. Aggression, aggression, aggression. Mudskipper, South Africa. This elephant herd is made up of females and juveniles. But big males are coming in close. They usually live on their own. But something is drawing them to the herd, and it could mean trouble. A male reaches maturity at around 10 years old. Their heads are massive, with a wide brow and thick, curved tusks that bulge out by the mouth. But there's a sign that they could snap at any second. A swelling behind the eye that's discharging liquid. This is called the temporal gland. It swells when his testosterone levels rocket by 50 times, a condition called must. The gland creates pressure behind the elephant's eyes, potentially causing intense headaches. Bulls in must can push trees over and attack other animals. Tempers rest on a hair trigger. This raging bull in must is gigantic. 11 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing in at over 12,000 pounds, the weight of an RV. His urge to mate is in overdrive. And he'll crush anything that gets in his way, especially other males. But one of them won't budge, because he's also in must. This is nature's ultimate test of strength. They try to fend each other off with their trunks, which can lift 600 pounds, the weight of a ride-on lawnmower. Suddenly, the raging bull finds himself on the back foot. He's being outmuscled. If he loses, His dreams of mating are at risk. It's a cruel dilemma. His rampaging hormones scream at him to fight on, but the other male is stronger. A final threat makes the raging bull think again. He's lost this battle, but he's not been seriously injured, and his fighting days aren't over. On average, mature males will go into must at least once a year. The raging bull will be back. When an animal wants to establish itself as the toughest beast out there, all-out aggression is the only way to go. But when it comes to finding food, sometimes good things come to those who wait. Summer temperatures on the African plains regularly hit 80 degrees. And if animals are to survive, they must have water. A migrating herd of wildebeest and zebras. Over 1.5 million strong. And they're thirsty. The noise of countless hooves running toward the river can be heard for miles around. But water is not the only thing that awaits them. Colossal Nile crocodiles. 20 feet long. And 2,200 pounds of armor-plated killing machine. They've been waiting for the migration. And they move into position below the surface. Like an iceberg, now only a tiny proportion of these prehistoric creatures can be seen. Crocodiles adjust their buoyancy by controlling the amount of air they hold in their lungs. Deflating them means they sink. Once submerged, they can divert blood away from the lungs and recirculate it around the body again, ensuring they use up every scrap of oxygen to feed their vital organs. This adaptation allows them to stay under for up to 6 hours. The crocodiles have countless wildebeest to choose from. And they are masters of patience. The adult wildebeest do not see the danger. But danger sees them. A thirsty herd drinks from croc-infested water. A full-grown wildebeest can drink more than 6 gallons of water at one time. But with each passing second, the danger increases. When the crocodile has its prey, it drags it into deeper water. At the back of the reptile's throat, a special valve closes to create a seal, stopping water from flowing into its stomach and lungs. This enables the crocodile to hold the prey tightly in its jaws and drown it, without drowning itself. Once snared, there's almost nothing that a wildebeest can do. They are outsmarted, outsized, and overpowered. The crocodiles take anything that gets too close. Wildebeest or zebra. But this feisty stallion isn't going to go as easy as the wildebeest. The croc grabs it by its front leg. The zebra's jaws are strong enough to break a human hand. It bites whatever it can and finds an eye, the reptile's weak spot. The zebra escapes the jaws of death by the skin of its teeth. But the lucky stallion is just one drop in an ocean of prey. For animals the world over, success depends on finding food and finding a mate. But there are some species where the line between eating and mating is dangerously blurred. The golden fields of southern Europe seem like a paradise, but they are home to an aggressive cannibal. This female praying mantis is a real-life femme fatale. She's on the lookout for a mate or a meal. As well as two large compound eyes that see rapid movements and depth, she has three simple eyes in the center of her head that detect changes in light. All bugs, including other females, are at risk of attack, and if caught, will be eaten alive. Male mantises are in a catch-22. They actively seek out these killer females for mating. If she has recently eaten, she'll accept his advances. But if she's feeling hungry, she'll eat him alive too. It has been known for a female to mate with a male and still eat him. It's one of the animal kingdom's deadliest first dates. Another mantis lands on a nearby plant. But is it male or female? Size differs greatly among the thousands of mantis varieties, but there's a general rule that separates the sexes. Males have a slender abdomen, made up of 8 distinct segments, which get shorter toward the tail. Females have a wider abdomen, made up of just 6 segments, of roughly uniform length. This new mantis is the same build, 6 segments long, another female. The femme fatale grabs her with a lightning strike, clamping her head tight in her viciously spiked forearm. If she can, the femme fatale will start snacking. The newcomer forces the femme fatale off and turns the tables. The sharp spines of her forearm dig into her enemy's vulnerable eye. It takes all of the femme fatale's strength to wrestle the arm away. This fight could go either way. There are easier meals to be had, so they both plunge from the battleground to safety, fleeing on an empty stomach, but with their heads still attached. Sometimes the only safe way out of a situation is to turn and run. But when an animal's young is at stake, running is not an option. For many months, the Arctic tundra is a sparse, icy desert. But with the arrival of spring, it becomes a bloody battleground. The snow geese are coming, as many as 15 million of them, migrating to the tundra from the south. They're here to breed. Snow geese partner up for life. Pairs need space and easy access to vegetation and water. Competition for the best nesting site is fierce. And When it comes to fighting over territory, they battle in tag team formation. And snow geese have adaptations that make them fighting fit. Their legs are positioned centrally under their bodies, providing greater balance and agility on land and in shallow water, ideal for feeding and fighting. Their muscular necks give power to a useful tool, a sharply serrated bill designed for cutting up roots or to shred a rival's feathers. A male and female drive off another pair. With the ideal nest site secured, the female gets on with laying. The eggs will need to be incubated for 3 weeks before they're ready to hatch. But now, she faces a new threat. A ruthless predator has been waiting for this moment. To her, every goose egg is a golden opportunity for dinner. A mating pair of snow geese must protect their vulnerable newly laid eggs. But there's a predator here who's been waiting months for the snow goose migration. It's an Arctic fox. She's small, about 12 pounds, and just 2.5 feet long, but she's still deadly and tenacious. She's spoiled for choice. She forgoes stealth in approaching the huge flock. The birds see her coming. They can't abandon their eggs. If they want their chicks to survive, they'll have to fight. The geese bombard the fox. They spread their wings to intimidate the attacker. Their serrated bills ready to deal a painful bite. The nests are densely packed here. The fox doesn't stand a chance against so many angry parents. She spots a nest on the edge of the community. This mother is alone. The goose does her best to shield the nest from the hungry fox. But the attacker is relentless. She drives the mother away from the eggs. The Arctic fox will steal as many as she can. All the snow geese can do is sit and wait. And when the predator attacks again, they must fight. When a home is under threat, it can bring out the beast in any animal. But some creatures are so protective of their territories that if an intruder comes close, all hell breaks loose. The grasslands of India are home to a giant. The great Indian rhino. They're easily identified by their single horn and a tough hide resembling the armor plating of a warrior knight. In places, it can measure nearly 2 inches thick. Just like a knight, they must maintain their armor. The rhinos are more than happy to let birds pick out any parasitic insects that hide in the folds. These beasts are 10 feet long and weigh in at 6,000 pounds. As vegetarians, They have to consume about 1% of their body weight every day. That's 60 pounds of grass. Adult males use the waste to mark out their territory. Tall dung stacks make good boundary walls. But sometimes it's not enough. Arrival night invades occupied land. He's looking for females, but his intrusion won't be tolerated. Like their African cousins, they use their horn to drive at their rivals. But these giant knights have a special weapon. All rhinos have a set of premolars and molars used for breaking down vegetation. But Indian rhinos also have a pair of razor-sharp incisors. These teeth can grow more than 3 inches, and when used in a fight, can inflict serious flesh wounds. The two giant knights charge at each other, mouths open, ready to clamp on to their rival's armor. The invader is determined to force a way through, and lunges. But the defending knight holds firm. This land and the females within it are his. He drives the invader off with a final insult. A bite to the butt. He must now get back to his extreme vegetarian diet. His dung-lined borders are constantly under threat. When a wild animal challenges a rival, the outcome is never guaranteed. But when it comes to picking battles, some learn their lessons the hard way. The African bush is home to some highly intelligent animals. Baboons. They spend much of their time on the ground, foraging and socializing. But they must be on constant alert. The area is packed with predators. Hyena, leopard, and wild hunting dogs lurk. And this baboon family suddenly find themselves running for their lives. But this time, the killers are kittens. 3 juvenile lions are practicing their hunting skills. The baboons flee to the trees. The lions are close behind. They may be novices, but the cubs are still members of one of the most powerful predator species in Africa. The cubs are already 5 feet from nose to tail and weigh 100 pounds, twice the weight of the average male baboon. And they're packing the same weaponry as their parents. Razor-sharp retractable claws and flesh-puncturing canines. And these young lions are ready to use them. Three juvenile lions besiege a family of baboons. They're novices, but even a young lion can inflict deadly injury. Their biggest problem is knowing their limits. Unlike leopards, lions are not natural climbers. The baboons watch as the cubs try and fail to follow them. Time to turn around. Just like domestic cats, climbing up is easier than getting down. now the killer kittens learn another lesson. Intelligent baboons have their own weapons. The cats are beaten. And just in case there are any sore losers, the mischievous primates help them cool off. An animal may only learn its limits through mistakes. But in the wild, a single mistake can be the difference between life and death. The rooftops of Jodhpur, India, are a primate playground. Hanuman langurs have claimed them. Individual families are watched over by a dominant male, the captain of the troop. This one has ruled for several years, an unusually long time. High up in his tree, the captain keeps watch. He has to. There are many other males in the area, potential challengers. When they come into maturity, males are banished from their family troop. Out on their own, they wouldn't last long. The only way they can survive is to form their own renegade group, like a pack of lost boys. But living in this way is no picnic. Males can be highly aggressive. They're always on the lookout for groups of females to mate with. Like the beauty belonging to the captain. Today, this rooftop playground will become a war zone. If the Lost Boy leader can, he'll take over the group and banish or kill the babies. He'll see that the captain's bloodline stops dead. But the captain has no intention of letting them get near. He performs an acrobatic warning display. Langurs can leap up to 15 feet horizontally. And their legs can absorb drops of up to 40 feet, the height of 4 stacked school buses. The captain's show of strength stops the younger males in their tracks. But their leader has had enough of bachelorhood. He wants the females, and he'll stop at nothing to get them. A pack of Hanuman langurs attacks an established family troop. If the family captain can't fight off these rogue lost boys, he'll be overthrown, and his children will be at risk. He gives chase across the rooftops. The captain is stronger, but he's surrounded by the Lost Boys, each one of them armed with razor-sharp canines. The young challenger corners the captain. It's all over. The captain is badly wounded. There's a new alpha, and he claims the throne. But he's not done. He needs to end the old captain's bloodline. The older children flee as the females try to protect them. But many of the babies are doomed. It's a harsh reality for the females. But now, they have a new captain. Several youngsters lose their lives. And the vultures are circling. Across the globe, on all kinds of terrain, animals fight for dominance. But when the survival of the bloodline is at stake, sometimes even a muddy pool is worth a war. The mudflats of eastern Africa are home to a truly unusual animal, the Mudskipper. When this slippery customer feels the need to stretch its fins, it has more options than most other fish. Mudskippers can leave their watery home. They're able to absorb air through their skin and keep a store of oxygen trapped in their gill chambers. This male is on a mission to find a mate. He uses his strong pectoral fins like legs. But his nimble fins walk him straight into trouble. This territory belongs to another male, and he's not happy. The homeowner moves in fast and raises his dorsal fin like a warning flag. But to the trespasser, it's like a red rag to a bull. They use the same powerful muscles designed for skipping over the mud to smash into each other. The fighter that wins gets the rights to the land. The intruder gets a sucker hold on his rival's face. If he's strong enough, he can manhandle the homeowner into giving up the keys to the crib. But it's not going to plan. This is one proud homeowner. He uses all his energy to fling the intruder up and off, like a slippery bucking bronco. Just so the intruder understands he's got no chance of moving in, he's shown the door. The homeowner has won the right to stay up on dry land. But it's an early bath for his rival.